Okay, so trying to put out a few fires here and help you guys with something that's really useful if you do have a pen or you want to use your finger write on things. Just how are we saving files and how can I read them on my end? So when we're doing the PDF thing, most of you guys are doing really quite well, but there's a few people that are kind of struggling. So first thing, we're going to download it to our drive, and I think we're doing okay there. So this one seems to be fine. We're not having a ton of trouble here, and so that would be something that we would probably say, hey, that's we're doing well there. We're going to find and we're going to open it. So I think that if you show in a folder, that's not a bad way to find them. And so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to try a test one here. We'll see how it works. So here's a PDF on the left. So I'm going to open that up. And then upper right-hand arrow, I'm going to hit that download. And then in the corner here, in the right corner, I can just show that in the folder. You guys can see that on the bottom right corner. So I'm going to show that in the folder. And so there's my drive, and right here highlighted is the thing that I've downloaded. So I'm going to open it up so I can write on it. So I think most of us done pretty good up until this point. So we can do some writing on it, and then that's going to. So there we go. I've got this. Oops, I don't want to do that. I've got my space here, and so maybe make it a little bit smaller. Okay, not a big deal. There we go. So let's do some doodling. So we'll start with the black, and we'll draw a thing here, and then we'll do some stuff like this, and this is looking pretty awesome. See if you guys can figure out what this is, and then we'll do a little bit of this, and we'll just have some fun with it. And I mean, it kind of looks like a blue chocolate chip cookie at this point, which maybe that's what it is. I was kind of thinking it was going to be a planet, but it's kind of whatever you think it is. So I'm going to give it some rings, make it look pretty awesome. And then let's go in here and let's get the highlighter out and let's do a little highlighting in there. All right, you guys get the point. And so we're going to end up having to save this, and we don't want this amazing work of art to be lost. And so when we save this, we want to make sure that the new file name is something that I can recognize, and that at the end of the file name, I keep the .pdf. A lot of people have been losing that, and that's called a file extension. If you dropped a file extension, the computer, the Chromebook, whatever, is not going to know what kind of file it is. So it's not going to know, hey, Mr. Reese needs to see this and it's a PDF. It basically just gives me a thing that's like, I don't know what this is. And if you can figure out how to open it, great. But we have got to make sure that we have this .pdf, because if we don't have that, then we're really gonna struggle, because it's just gonna show up as a nothing. You did all this work, now you get a nothing. So over here, I've gone through and I've said, okay, we have to be better at this, keeping the .pdf at the end. Okay, so that's really where we've been struggling, is with this PDF. We've been just not having that. And so I'm getting your assignments, and then I'm like, oh, I'm super sad because your assignments don't have anything in them. So it's like you didn't do anything. And so then I'm like, okay, then you get a big fat F, and you don't deserve an F, right? Like you're like, I don't deserve an F. I've worked really hard. I deserve an A+. Okay, so how are we going to get that A+? Well, we've got to get that document to me so that I can give you that grade. So let's go back over here. We've got our thing here, and we're looking for that A plus. So what are we going to do? We're going to download it here, and we're going to do the edited version. Okay, now here's the thing. So you have your downloads, and you can see I've got this Planet Doodle because I've done this before, but I don't want it in downloads. I want it in my Google Drive. So I'm going to click Google Drive, right? So now it's in my drive. I don't want it in downloads. I want it in my Google Drive. And then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to change the name. So I'm going to go ahead and change the name to something else. And so I'm going to go ahead and call it a doodle. So I had the Planet Doodle, and that's one that accidentally got saved into my drive, which I think is maybe a problem for you guys. So I'm going to call this my A Doodle, and then I'm going to go ahead and save it. So this is going to go, once again, into my drive, my Google Drive, not into my downloads, because that's not going to be as easy to find. So let's go ahead and save this into our drive. Now we got to go find it. So when you find it, you really should just be able to go to recent and find it. So we're hoping to find it. So we go over here, we're going to go back, and then we're going to go to recent. Okay, so you see it at the top, it says adoodle.pdf. It doesn't say adoodle and nothing or adoodle.pdf x568. Anything that you put at the end is going to be a problem. And so if you look, this would not work. My project, nothing at the end, that's going to be a failure. My project.pdf2j, well, the .pdf's okay, but this stuff, that's a problem. So I can't have anything extra. And so a lot of people did .pdf, but then they had 2 or 3 or whatever. So that's a not going to work. This is what we need. Whatever you want to call it is fine. I mean, as long as it's, school appropriate, right there. My project, and then .pdf at the end. We have to have it in this format. And so at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to get you where you want to go is there. These are no good. I mean, you do these. I mean, it's going to be one of these. All right. Skull and crossbones. That's not awesome, right? So when you're doing this stuff, we want to avoid these two because they are not good. Okay, so let's go back and let's verify that what I have done works. So I can go back. Here's adoodle.pdf. That's what I want. If I click on that, it's going to come up with my new thing. So let's go close the other one. So this one's gone, and that one's gone. So let's make sure we still have it. So it is. And we're going to open that baby up. Well, there it is. adoodle.pdf, A plus, has a blue chocolate chip cookie. That's going to get you what you need to do.